Welcome back. Previously, we were dealing with different heads that comes under ratio analysis: liquidity ratios, solvency ratios, activity ratios, profitability ratios, and finally, the last one, market test or evaluation ratios. Today, we will discuss in detail what is the market test or evaluation ratios. Market test ratios, otherwise known as valuation ratios. Market test ratios are used by shareholders and investors to evaluate the performance of a company in the marketplace. In the previous ratios, we have learned about the organization ability to earn as well as to meet its long-term liabilities or short-term liabilities, and whether the organization is efficient in proper utilization of capital so as the shareholders or the owners of the concern are earning sufficient returns for their risky investments. Apart from that, in order to certify that a concern is working efficiently or whether it is performing effectively in an economy, you need to study its operations in the market. Operation in the market in the sense that whether the organization or the concern is capturing the market shares, or whether it is covering enough market share, or whether it is able to capture the market, and at the same time there is a proper value or demand for the shares of that particular concern in the market. It all depends upon the working of the organization. If the organization is working perfectly, they will have a considerable amount of market share in the economy. And if they have proper market share, or if they are covering the majority of the market share of the economy, the value of their shares will be high. If the value of their shares is high, the demand for the shares also increases. Thereby, the price as well as value of the share increases. By increasing the value of the shares, we can say that one of the objective of financial management is wealth maximization, and that objective can be achieved. And through maximization of wealth, the organization is able to provide sufficient returns to the owners. This way, all these activities are interlinked. So we will study in detail that part in the higher studies and regarding the market test ratio. So in order to study the organization performance and effectiveness from the market test point of view, we need to check various ratios in order to measure its effectiveness. And under market test ratio, like the previous ratios, it also consisting of some of the sub ratios or tests that helps in measuring the organization's effectiveness on the basis of valuation of their shares. Different market test ratios are: first one, earning per share; second one, price earning ratio; third one, coverage ratios; fourth one, dividend payout ratio; fifth one, dividend per share; sixth one, dividend yield ratio; finally, book value per share. We will discuss in detail all these 7 ratios, its equations and its standards, and why we are using these ratios. Okay, let's study from first one onwards. Earning per share. As the name suggests, earning per share is used to project the fair value of a share, and based on such forecast, an investor takes decision to hold, buy or sell shares. Why we are using earning per share is it helps the investor or the person who are interested in investing or invested in the business can easily measure the earnings on the basis of their shares invested. whether their investors are earning sufficient returns or sufficient earnings for their investment, whether their risk part of the investment is properly covered by the earnings or returns from that particular investment. So some of the major equation for measuring the earnings per share is net profit after tax minus preference dividend divided by number of equity shares outstanding. I think we have dealt the same part, earning per share, in the previous heading, where in which overall profitability we have learned about the specific part, earning per share. I hope you guys won't be needing any more explanation regarding this part. Anyway, earning per share is mostly concentrated on the base of equity shareholders, whereby this ratio helps in measuring the amount of shares or earnings which are earned by the equity shareholders on the base of the shares held. Net profit after tax minus preference dividend. Remember, here we are studying the earning per share is on the base of equity shareholders alone. So in order to study the earnings that is available alone to the equity shareholders, you need to deduct the considerable amount of dividend that are allotted to preference shareholders. So net profit after tax minus preference dividend divided by number of equity shares. Or you can use another equation, profit available to equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares outstanding. Sometimes in the question the profit available to or earnings available to equity shareholders will be directly given in the question. In that case you can just use this equation. Otherwise use the first equation. So just go through the case or specification given in the question very wisely. Here we are studying earning per share of the equity shareholders. So equity share, when you are studying the earning per share of equity shareholders, you need to remember, you deduct preference dividend from net profit after tax. I hope you know how to find the amount, the net profit after tax. We have discussed the same part in the previous slide. Just go through that case. EPS or earning per share is used to project the fair value of share, and based on such forecast an investor take decision to hold, buy or sell shares. If the concerned investor or the person is able to study that the concerned shares earn maximum return, then he can invest into the business. Otherwise, depends upon the nature of the situation. Okay, next one, price earning ratio. Price earning ratio is the ratio between market price per equity share and earnings per share. The ratio is calculated to make an estimate of appreciation in the value of shares of a company and is widely used by investors to decide whether or not to buy shares in a particular company. So, price earning ratio or PE ratio is the ratio of market price to the earning per share. It indicates the number of times the market is willing to pay for its earning per share. A PE ratio of 20 indicates that the investor are willing to pay 20 times of its EPS for its shares in the market. This is how a price earning ratio works. The equation for finding price earning ratio is market price divided by earning per share. A higher price earning ratio means that overvaluation of shares, and lower price earning ratio means undervaluation of share. And the both situation, in higher ratio here overvaluation, if it is going towards higher overvaluation, it is not good for the organization, as well as if it is go for very low undervaluation of shares, it is also not suitable for the organization. The ratio should be standing between high over as well as undervaluation of shares. As I have told earlier, it is the ratio between market price per equity share and earning per share. Why we are using this ratio is to make an estimate of appreciation in the value of shares of a company and is widely used by investors to decide whether or not to buy the shares in the particular company. And regarding the decision or evaluation analysis of the ratio which you are computed, generally higher the pricing ratio, the better it is. If the PE ratio or price earning ratio falls, the management should look into the causes that have resulted into the fall of this ratio. Next one, coverage ratios. Usually coverage ratio is a heading that deals with three different ratios. Coverage ratio include interest coverage ratio, preference share dividend coverage ratio, and equity dividend coverage ratio. These are the three ratios that comes under coverage ratio. And here interest coverage ratio is the first one, and we have dealt the same case during the study of liquidity ratios, where we have dealt interest coverage ratio just after the completion of liquidity ratio. Just go through that part. The interest coverage ratio is the same concept, and you know the equation. Interest coverage ratio is earnings before interest and tax divided by annual interest on debt. We have dealt this part in the previous sessions. Just go through it. It is usually found in the point where liquidity ratios end. So just go through it. If you have any doubts, we will discuss that part separately. Okay, next one, preference share dividend cover. This is the second ratio that comes under coverage ratio, that is preference share dividend cover. The equation is profit after tax divided by preference dividend. And what is the use of this ratio? This ratio indicates the number of times preference dividend is covered by profit available to preference shareholders. A ratio higher than 1 means the preference shareholders can certainly expect payment of dividend uninterruptedly. It is another ratio to measure the organization's effectiveness in maintaining sufficient amount of profit. We are using this ratio to measure whether the organization is earning sufficient profit so that it can cover the preference dividend different number of times during a period. The more the number of times during a period, it will be the higher performance or higher efficiency for the organization. So just go through all these ratios. We will discuss about the further ratios in the coming sessions. Remember to go through the interest coverage ratio because we have dealt this part in the previous slide. So just go through the interest coverage ratio, its concept, meaning, and the case which we have dealt just after the liquidity ratios. Just go through that part. And we will discuss about the further ratios that comes under market test ratios in the coming sessions. That's all for today. Thank you.